Okay, let's start you off with an easy question.
Okay.
What's the secret to happiness? No, I'm just joking. So I want to thank you guys very much for sitting down with an interview. I really want to help people who are watching this get a feel of what it's like to pursue your dreams. You know, it's not always a rosy situation, I imagine, and I have some questions about that. But first I want you to talk about, first of all, the name Dark Light. Where did it come from?
The name Dark Light, actually initially our group name was Freedom of Speech. It was formed in 2008, and we were growing in talent and we're developing our skill, and then...
Actually 2007, Freedom of Speech.
Oh, sorry. I'm really bad with dates. Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
if you say so. I'm really bad with dates. So we'll say 2007, and in 2008... Okay. We kind of revisited the group name because we felt freedom of speech didn't really represent us. Something was just, we weren't really lyricists, and it just really wasn't representing the kind of music we wanted to make. So we kind of revisited things, and through a brainstorming session, Ovela is actually the one who said, what about Dark Light? And we thought about it. I don't really know how he came about it. I guess he was just thinking about opposites, and it's a cool sounding thing. But the more we thought about it, the more it really made sense.
Exactly.
Because we really are opposites, like darkness and light are. However, you really need one for the other to exist. So they coexist, even though they seem like they clash, which we often do.
Yeah.
But we kind of need each other to really complete the balance and to produce something grand. Really, we work together, just like darkness and light.
Life is more interesting that way anyways, right? So.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's the eternal battle between dark and light, and that really does represent us and our music and how we think who we are. It really is that balance, that duality. It really does represent us.
So you form the group Dark Light, you come together, you're playing music. How do you discover that you're even interested in performing? How do you discover your passion for this?
I was always singing, and I guess having good feedback from my parents, they're like, oh, you sing so well. Obviously parents say that, but it kind of encourages you. You're like, oh, maybe I do have something. And so that's what really got me into singing. And then taking to the stage was actually in, I guess, elementary school. I was in a French international school in the U.S., and at the end of the year would be the school fair event where everyone would come together and celebrate the end of the year. And I remember in elementary school, my earliest memory was putting on a show at the school event, and I was dressed like a Native American with the faux leather dress and the feather in my hair, and we had a little choreography. We went onto the stage, we did our little dance, people were cheering, and I remember I just loved that feeling. And I was like maybe 7 or 8 or something, but I remember I loved that feeling. And from then on, every time there was a school event, an opportunity to go on stage, to sing, to dance, I volunteered myself because I just kept looking for that feeling, and I just felt comfortable on stage. I liked being there and doing something I really enjoyed, something I did at home every single day, but then to do it in front of other people and have them actually enjoy what you do, that kind of interaction, I really liked it, and I just felt at home on stage. So that's really what got me on stage, was just those little opportunities, and then what kept me going was the feeling.
Okay, so you discover your passion for performing with all these little experiences. How do you get involved? How do you, if you don't like to perform, what is it that you're interested in?
My job is actually to be the man behind the music, basically. I produce the instrumentals, or we could say the beats, and then I suggest them to Angel. And I have a lot of involvement in the creative process, even the on-stage presence and the choreographies and aspects. You know, every creative aspect, I have a say in it, basically.
What is the joy, the satisfaction that you get out of being the man behind the scenes, the man behind the curtain? Wouldn't you rather be like someone who's on stage and be seen? What is it about it that you like being off stage?
Actually, no one wants to see his face. That's why he's behind the scenes.
I don't get any joy from being on stage. It's enough for me, to be on videos and people knowing that, oh, it's that guy who produced the music.
So where does it come from? So you're sitting in the room. You're at your computer. You're at your studio.
I'm in the lab.
You're in the lab.
I'm in the lab. Yes, I'm in the zone when I produce.
What is it about that you like?
Producing? It's thinking that what I am creating is actually better than what the superstars are doing right now. I'd like the people to tell me, the people who hear my music to tell me, wow, your music is actually better than what we hear every day.
So how was it that you guys decided to come together to do this? What was part of that coming together?
Go ahead.
So we met back in 2007, and then around that time Ovela met my brother, who was then a music producer, and he showed him music software. And at the time, Ovela was at Université de Montréal, Montreal University.
And I didn't like what I was doing. I didn't know what my passion was. So once he introduced me to the software, a whole new world opened up to me, and I was like, I finally found that missing thing in my life, because I've always been close to music. I knew there was something in me that was just so attracted to music, and I always knew that I could create music that I would enjoy and that would be better than what people do. And once I was introduced to that software, I was like, since I am not a musician, this software enables me to create music without the knowledge, the deep knowledge. So yeah, and I was fascinated by it, and right then I knew that was my future, basically. I'd like to say one more thing. Right away, when I discovered the software, I also dropped out of the university to pursue music in another school, to have a degree in sound engineering as well. That's how much I really loved the world of music and sound. Yeah.
And for my side, I was actually studying marketing at Concordia University at the time, but I was already a singer. As I mentioned, my brother was a music producer, and he would make songs, make instrumentals, and I was his singer. He would ask me, could you write a verse on this? And then he would record me and mix it. He had friends who made songs, and I would sing for them and record, and that was kind of my career at the time. It was M Angel, just featuring here and there, but not actually pursuing my career as an artist. And with focus on university, I had kind of let go of music and pursuing music for a while. But Ovela had such passion for music production, and since we had started dating at the time, we were always around each other, and so he started to learn the music software, and I was there too. So I was like, let's learn together. So we were on Reason and seeing how to make beats, and working at it together. And it was just really the natural progression to go from producing beats together to, oh, you know what? I'm gonna write a verse on this. I'm gonna write a chorus. I'm gonna sing it. And then we got our little mics and we would record it. And then that's how we just started kind of naturally working together. We called ourselves Freedom of Speech. Thus the little collective was born in this little apartment in Côte de Neige. And it was fun. It was fun. We even had like little music videos with our little camera, and so that's really just kind of naturally occurred because we were both musically inclined, and we joined our forces to do something, and really with time it developed into something more solid, more real, and especially recently it's been exponentially real, if that makes any sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's how Dark Light came to be.
Yeah.
So you come together, you start working together. What is it like to work with someone else on something creative?
Artists working together, heavy thing.
Well, there are two perspectives here. From a producer's perspective, it's easier, I would say, because usually the artist that wants to work with me expects me to be the leader in a way, always asking me if that's what they did is good or not, and so I would tell them. So there aren't many creative conflicts. So yeah, I would say it's easier for me. That's from my experience. But from a singer's perspective, it might be...
I don't know if it's a singer's perspective or me, because I've met other artists and they seem... It's really a personality thing. A lot of people collaborate well with others. They have this very open music creating process. And I have friends that are musicians and they work with me, and for them it's so easy, and they're like, yeah, let's what's it called? Let's jam, let's freestyle, let's do this. And I'm like, whoa, okay, this is not how I produce. It's very hard for me to be that open and everything. I'm always alone when I produce. It's a very solitary thing. I always ask everyone in the room to leave the room. If I go into the studio, I'm alone. It's kind of like I open my mind and let it fill the space I'm in. And I need no distractions to really enable myself to open myself creatively. So I'm alone, I'm in silence, and I'm one with... I just connect to this part of my soul or my brain that needs a lot of space to exist. And I find that when I'm working with other people, I'm way more aware of what I'm doing, and that's the problem, because my creative process involves the unconscious mind. So I need to zone out in a way, and I need to be weird and crazy and talk to myself, and then I go over there and over there. Like, if you look at me, you're like, this person is schizophrenic. But I need to go to that place to then create something coherent, and process it. So with him, it's hard because he wants to communicate with me. He's always asking me, tell me.
We almost never work together.
Yeah, it's really hard.
We create a song.
Yeah. He'll be like, what do you want me to do on the beat? Tell me, how are you going to sing this? What's your vision for the song? And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to go in there and do my thing. I'm going to show you. You tell me what you think. Then from then on we move forward. But yeah, we're
very opposite, dark, light, and
yeah.
At the end somehow it still creates some magic. So
it comes together.
It works. Yeah. It works. She works in solitude, again, to show you the whole dark light paradox, and I really don't. I usually create a melody and I loop it for hours and I listen to it over and over again, and I add other instruments to it. So I work in complete noise
sound,
basically. Yeah.
Is the joy of performing enough to motivate you, or do you have to find inspiration in other things?
We're working on an album, and to promote it, the best way would be to be seen at least. So I had to take to the stage to market Dark Light. Mm-hmm. But for years I guess I shied away from the stage. I lost confidence in myself. The way I want to perform our music is not a conventional way. I'm not the kind of singer that'll pick up a guitar, go on stage, and sing acoustically. That's not how I want our music to be received. That's not how we produce our music. That's not the vision I have. And I've always had this vision of a big stage, big show. So here I am in Montreal, an acoustic artist's dreamland, and I'm, I guess, a pop diva in the shadows, and I'm like, I have no idea. How am I going to present my music the way I want to? So for a while, I didn't try because it was too overwhelming and it seemed like an impossible feat. So I just thought, no, I'm not going to do it. But talking to people and deciding that I want to make it, and if I want to make it, I have to do something. I have to start. There has to be a beginning for there to be an end. So I know the end goal, I have it in mind, and I made it clearer and clearer with time. What do I want? Oh yeah, I remember Britney. I recently went to the Backstreet Boy concert and it reinvigorated me. I was like, yeah, that's what I want. I want to be able to do those moves and all on stage. And I took all of that in and opened myself up to the possibility that maybe I can do this. Maybe I can start here in Montreal with something. And that's when talking to people and putting things together, opportunities presented themselves. And it was like, oh, well, there's a show here, and it's going to be at the Rialto Theater. And the people putting on the show, the McGill African Student Society, and you've been part of their shows. I was host for a number of years for their annual gala. And I was like, yeah, they have a great light show. Those lights would really complement our music. Okay. And then thinking, but I want dancers. I can't just be alone on the stage. And then I remembered, oh, they had dancers at their show. And people were like, what about these dancers? And I thought, no, those dancers are way too good for me. Again, putting myself down, thinking, I can't be as good as I want to yet, But no, I thought, why not? What the heck? And I approached them. I approached Tassie, the founder of Musicon, and she listened to our music, and she was down. She was like, I love what you guys are doing. I really see something here. Let's work together. And slowly, just enabling myself to let my dream exist, and not just exist up here, but exist out here. Just solutions came, and they kept manifesting. And so we put on a show, and even though it's not the big show that I'm looking for, it's not the Bell Center presentation, it's a pretty good start. Mm-hmm. I was really impressed with how everything came together, and people look at it and they're like, oh my God, this was a performance, this was a show, we're so impressed. The feedback was like, I didn't even expect that kind of feedback. I was overwhelmed and so proud that we got to, I surpassed my expectations for my first performance, So it's that's what drives me. Now I have to keep focusing on that. I have to keep focusing on, okay, I'm going to do what Backstreet Boys and early Britney did. I'm going to bring that back. I'm going to bring that energy back.
Michael Jackson did it better.
Michael Jackson too, obviously, yes. Oh my God, yes. Obviously the king of stage performance, entertainment. So that's what drives me. Seeing myself achieving what I call perfection, my level of perfection. That's what drives me to keep moving forward and allowing for good enough, because that's usually what halters people is, oh, I don't want to do something until it's perfect. That's, as I mentioned, that's what's been, just crippling me and holding me back for so long. But you get nowhere that way. You get nowhere. You stay exactly where you are forever, and you keep dreaming about over there, and you keep staring at it, but it's like, well, if you want to get over there, shouldn't you walk? So we're walking right now. We're walking, and we're going to run, and we're going to get there.
So you draw your inspiration from being on stage. What is it that inspires you? How are you motivated?
I want to be as big as the most famous producers. And I believe in myself. I know that I am as good or better than them. So I deserve it. And I wake up every day and I do my best. I enjoy my music. I listen to my music every day because I enjoy it. And seeing the reaction on people's faces when they listen to my music, that is such a satisfaction. That is such a high. And I love that. I love people's feedback. I mean, even bad feedback to me is not really a bad thing. So I draw my will and inspiration and drive from that. I want to prove them wrong.
Do you have any pre-show or post-show rituals? Anything that you have to do before getting off stage? Do you psych yourself up? Do you play Eye of the Tiger while looking at the mirror? Or?
Right before I hit that stage, I am nervous. It's always been the case. I don't think any performer doesn't feel that tingle. It feels like you're losing control of your limbs. You feel like jelly. Like you're just like, oh no, I'm not going to be able to dance. I'm not going to be able to stand. I keep chanting in my head. I keep chanting. It's going to be awesome. Just have fun. Just have fun. Just have fun. Just have fun. So right before I'm a mess. I get on stage, the music starts, and I jump into that routine, and it's like everything disappears, and I'm just having fun. So for now, I guess that would be my routine, would be that chant of encouragement and positivity before a show. Everything's going to be fine. You've been practicing for this. You're ready. Just have fun. Really, that's all that matters in the end, because you can't control how people are going to react. You can't control the things that go wrong. You can only control how you enjoy the experience while it's happening.
I'm not a performer, but I get nervous too, right before she gets on stage. But I have so much confidence in her that I know everything is gonna go perfectly, but I'm still nervous. I remember I was filming the performance, and my legs started twitching uncontrollably. I couldn't stop it. It was awful.
Yeah, we're like quantum particles, you know, we're entangled. Wherever he is, if I'm nervous, he's nervous, and if he's feeling positive, I'm feeling positive, yeah.
But I was completely confident that the show was going to be great.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
How do you measure success? So you come off stage, how do you tell yourself, I did well? What is the standard by which you live by?
I personally don't really measure it, because I know that it went well. I don't really care what people say, but for sure the feedback really helps. If people enjoy the show, for me that's the measure, of success, basically. What about you?
Yeah, that's a hard question too to answer, because up until now we've never really measured success or even thought about success. I guess because I'm always focusing on the ultimate success of being at the Bell Center and putting on an amazing show and having a large fan base and being able to tour the world. To me, that's when I'll really be successful. That's when I'll really reach my peak. And everything up until then is just, I guess, little tasks, little drops in the bucket, if you will.
So if you could go back to when you were starting out, I mean, you haven't reached your end goals yet, but you're not necessarily at the very beginning. What advice would you give yourself to... I don't want to give you the impression that you would change anything that was happened, but what advice would you give someone starting out, or what would you tell yourself in the past to make the road a little easier?
Well, from my perspective, for a producer, I would tell them to believe in themselves and do not... I mean, if your goal is to learn how to create music with the softwares and computers and all, I don't think they should go out and go learn how to do it at a university or at a school, because I believe that the internet is enough. If you know where to look, you will find the answer. And of course, practice and practice and practice.
Practice makes perfect.
Makes perfect, for sure. Believe in yourself, basically. If that's what you want to do, just keep doing it. Keep doing it. Be clever in a way, and don't spend your money on useless stuff. Spend your money, invest in your dream, basically, until you get there, until you're satisfied, and after that, do whatever you want. But
yeah, I would start off, I guess, the first thing I would tell an artist is know yourself before anything else. And what that means is ask yourself all of the questions. Am I a single genre artist? Am I a multi-genre artist? Am I a rapper? Am I a singer? Do I want to produce beats, my own beats? Do I have a person producing for me? Do I want people to listen to my music in the clubs? Is that the kind of mood I want to set? Do I want people to listen to my music while they're cooking? Am I telling a story? Do I have a purpose? Or am I just an all-around general artist? It's not about the lyrics, it's about the sound. Am I about the lyrics? Figure out who you are, what your brand is, what your sound is, above anything else. Take the time to do that. The path will be much clearer once you know where you're going. And I find that that's very important, and most people don't really know that that's the first step. For sure, believe in yourself. That is really the most important thing, as you mentioned, because you're going to have to come to a point where you're going to have to invest in yourself without an assurance that you'll get a return on that investment. but you cannot focus on the return. You have to focus on the belief that this is what I want to do right now. And as long as you feel good about it, do it. You know, don't spend that dollar if you feel iffy or bad about what you're about to spend. If you feel like, because we've had to make that choice. We've had to say, okay, we want to do another music video, but at this point, can we afford it? And will I be thinking about it for a long time? Will I keep telling myself, oh man, you know, I need that money. I needed that money. You know, if that's going to be the outcome, don't do it. So hold off on it until a solution presents itself, because it will. So really believe in yourself and don't be afraid to invest in yourself as long as you really feel like this is what I want to do, I need to do to move forward.
So what do you appreciate the most about what you're doing? So there's the obvious thing about being on stage, you know, enjoying the feedback, enjoying the creative process. But did you find yourself surprised by anything you appreciated in this whole process from beginning to end? Was there anything that sort of stood out to you that you didn't realize you might have appreciated, but now that you're looking back on it?
No, I appreciate the fact that I have this opportunity and chance to be happy, basically. That's all. That's when I do this, I'm happy. I mean, that's the ultimate goal. So that's what I appreciate the most. Yeah.
There is so much to appreciate. I guess I am surprised that I appreciated brand development more. Figuring out who we are as artists, but also as people. Not just through music, but as I said, on stage, who am I? When I talk to people, who am I? In interviews, who am I? You know, that's been very enjoyable. It's been fun coming up with new ideas to connect to our audience and coming up with new marketing initiatives. And we have quite a few in the works, and it's kind of, sometimes I get more pleasure from that than making the music, which can be work. Even though I have to keep telling myself I'm not working on music, I'm playing on music. Just changing that perspective already makes it easier. But definitely sometimes, I know for him is like,
unfortunately, I do not see that way. What she's enjoying, I see it as obstacles. There's just something I have to go through to get to my goal, and that's it. The ultimate thing for me is making the music. That's what I enjoy the most, and I have that opportunity to do it every day. So.
Yeah, as you can see, Dark Light, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He's all about the music, and I'm all about the performance and being a personality and connecting to people in a non-musical, forcément environment.
I have to be very patient with her.
I have to be very patient with him.
Well, that's a very good lesson to go back and tell yourself, be patient more often.
Definitely.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Dark Light. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. This has been awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. You're welcome.
Just before I let you guys go, what's up with Dark Light? What's next? What's upcoming?
Whew, we have a lot coming. First thing that's upcoming is another show. We have another performance coming. We're going to be performing at the Musicon Gala. It's the second annual gala. It's going to be called Show Me Your Soul. And that's May 18th, Sunday, May 18th. And we're going to be performing a song from our upcoming album, Ovela. So I'm going to have dancers with me. But I'm also going to be performing a cover that we've done of the Francis Cabrel song, Je t'aimais, je t'aimais, je t'aimerais. I'm going to be performing that in an acoustic, our cover version of it, basically. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We have a sort of documentary podcast, video cast more like it, a series coming called Spotlight and After Dark. So that's really exciting. Dark Light, yes. Just little videos where people will be able to get to know us as artists, but see how we interact in a casual setting, but also get a bit more about Dark Light and how we work, our processes, and what we think about different topics in the music industry, or not even music, just broader. And really to find out what we're doing, it's very simple. Follow us on Facebook. We are regularly active, regularly telling people. So that's facebook.com/moredarklight, obviously one word. And our website as well, where we post shows and events, videos, photos, even the Facebook feed. Everything is there at moredarklight.com, and then from there you'll have our Twitter, our Instagram. There's plenty of ways to stay in touch with Dark Light and to find out what's going on.
Stay tuned for our debut album, Wonderful, coming out soon.
Summer, hopefully. Summer 2014, Loin de Toi, that's the goal.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Dark Light.
Thank you.
On va danser, et on danse. Look left, look right, look left, look right, to the left, to the 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 right. Follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me,
Very cool. You guys did a wonderful job.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Follow me, follow me, follow me, toison d'or.